Hi, I'm Amy and I'm here with Lorcan and we're part of the youth media team. We're here with Stephen Howell at ICT and Education.
What brings you to ICT and Education today?
Well, hello, both of you. I'm at ICT Edu today for a couple of reasons. And the first reason is I like to come all the way down from Louth to Tipperary and meet lots of really interesting educators who come together once a year and show the cool things they are learning and doing in the classroom. And that's really interesting to me. The other reason I'm here is I have to do a talk later on. I'm doing the closing keynote and I'm going to be talking about microbits and how we are using microbits to teach computational thinking in schools, and also to people who don't have a school and aren't at school who want to learn about that. And finally, I'm here because I work for Microsoft. I'm the Academic Engagement Manager at Microsoft, and Microsoft are the sponsor for this conference. So I've come down to take part in it because as the sponsor we're really interested in seeing what's happening and being part of it.
Tell us a bit about the Microsoft Dreamspace.
So the Microsoft Dreamspace is a really, really large room which is just inside the main lobby of our brand new Microsoft HQ in Dublin, and it's really special because it was designed with entertaining, having fun, and not teaching in the traditional way, but showcasing STEM and computational thinking to transition year students, and then also primary school students, and eventually all students. And right now it's just opened, and it's a very exciting time because we have schools coming all the time, and right now they're taking part in lots of different learning experiences. There's robotics, there's microbits, there's 3D augmented reality, there's 3D paint where you can create your own objects and see them placed virtually in the room. There's HoloLens, there's all sorts of really cool things, and most students don't get to try out this technology, so the Dreamspace is somewhere they can go with their class and see lots of really cool things and see what might be possible for them to study and create in the future. And we have a brand new person who's joined us in Microsoft. Her name is Amanda Joliffe, and she has joined us, and we also have a lady called Shoshana Hayden there, and together they're the Dreamspace team, and what they do is they bring the schools in and they give them this amazing experience. So I'm really proud to be working with them.
So what developments in technology would excite you the most?
Well, I think that for many people technology has been a huge enabler, as in that there's for a long time people have taken for granted that technology allows them to instantly communicate very cheaply with just about anyone, anywhere. People who like to create can now create in many more ways with technology than they might have been able to before. But something which worries me and excites me is that for a long time people with accessibility needs and people who are in need of extra help to use computers and technology, particularly what we would call inclusive design. So making our apps and our hardware and our software and just about everything be easier to use, and taking into account that not everyone is able to use technology as well as you might be able to. So for example, if I make an amazing app but I don't make it possible for someone who is blind to use it, I'm effectively saying to a whole group of people, I don't care about you. And if you have the ability to think about other people and make your software accessible to them, that's a really special thing to be able to do. And this was brought home to me is that I wrote software years ago and I made it for kids who were using their bodies to play games. So they could jump about and wave their arms and scratch. Programming language would respond to it. And then I discovered, and I was amazed to discover, that doctors in Taiwan were using this with children with cerebral palsy and getting them to do rehabilitation exercises where they had to stretch. And as the children were really bored doing all these stretching all day, they made it into a game. So even though they're still stretching, the Kinect would respond to their stretch movements and they could make a game in Scratch, and the kids would be really excited because instead of doing a boring stretching exercise, they were playing a game, even though they were still exercising. And that to me is, I didn't think of the accessibility opportunity there, so that excites me, but also it's a challenge because I didn't know much about cerebral palsy. Even though I have a very good friend who has it, I didn't know much about it. So we have to think differently about the technology we create.
And lastly, what has been your highlight of the day so far?
Well, the real highlight is this is the first conference where I brought all of my children to it. I have 4 children, and their names are Jack, Karis, Samuel, and Molly. And they came down last night and they went to this really cool thing called the Maker Meet. And we had a great time at it because we were making cars out of what looked like junk and using balloons as propulsion. And my daughter and a young lady called Mia, they made a car together, Karis and Mia, that not only flew all the way across the room, but it hit the tables at high speed. And no one else's car, including from several professors and lecturers, no one else's car was able to go anywhere as far as that. So I was very impressed by that. And they were really cool seeing them working together. And then today the highlight, all day at the conference, well, it's been really good. There was 2 excellent keynotes. A lot of what Barney and Joanna said really spoke to me. And then Rang Bianca in the corridor, all the different things the students were showing was really amazing. But I'd have to say that my daughter and my son, my eldest son Jack, showed off Minecraft and coding. And I was very proud of him because Jack has Asperger's and doesn't usually like to do presentations, but he did a really good job. And then my daughter Karis has done 2 things. One, she demoed the microbit. She did a really good job of that. And then I'm very proud that she has started and she's doing an internship with the youth media team, where she is hoping to someday graduate and be a interviewer with the youth media team. And she's right now writing a blog post, I believe. So that's definitely been the highlight for me today.
Thank you.